Good afternoon everyone, and welcome once again to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Something a little different for you today, although this is sort of connected with radio controlled aero modelling, you know, spraying aircraft and that sort of thing. This I've purchased recently for military modelling, which I'm having a dab at once again after a break of, you know, must be about 20 years. I've recently purchased this little Fengda FD18-2 from Amazon, and soon after I did a bit more research and found out that these get very hot after a relatively short period of use, and we're talking about 15-20 minutes. I was using mine for about half an hour or so, and I came to touch it and I could barely touch it. It was red hot. So doing a bit of research on the internet shows me that some people have come up with some ingenious ways of cooling. I've chosen to go with this method of cooling, and what I've done here is to put an 80mm fan on the back via I think it's 70mm M4 bolts, which happen to screw straight in to the original mountings. The mounting holes are the same. Likewise with the cylinder at the top, or the compression chamber at the top, we have a 70mm fan, and once again the mounting holes are directly in line with the original mounting holes for the cylinder head. The power for the two fans is provided by this old wall warts or wall charger I've got here. In this occasion it's an old Netgear router adapter, and you can see here it chucks out, or the output is 12 volts 1 amp, which is more than sufficient to power both of these. The only thing you'll need to do is, if you have a multimeter, determine which of these wires is positive and which is negative before proceeding. Then you take the if it's just a 2-wire or a 2-pin lead, as was in the case for this 80mm fan, it's just positive to positive, negative to negative. If in the case of this 70mm fan you have a spare yellow wire, that's just a signal wire. You can just cut that way and tuck that away somewhere, and it's just the case of the red and or the positive and negative connecting with the positive and negative on these wires as well. So we'll just turn that on and I can show you that in operation. The other thing I was going to say in regards to maintenance, the little piston gasket in here is a rubbery plasticky type of affair which rubs up and down against the cylinder wall. To lubricate this I've just used a bit of silicone grease, and the crank or the crank bearings at the bottom I put in a little drop of 3-in-1 oil. I wouldn't use WD-40, and I wouldn't recommend it for here. So let's just turn this on and I'll show you this in operation. So both fans are going, and they're both chucking out quite a bit of air. Yes, they're not exactly silent, but they do produce quite an amount of cooling. So even after half an hour's use now, although it's warm, it's not hot to the touch. So we just turn it on. At the moment I've only got this set to between 15 and 20 psi, as you can see there. So for me this little modification works very well. I can now use this for quite long periods without any fear of it seizing up or getting hot. Certainly this part getting hot did concern me, having all the electrical equipment inside. This part getting hot, yes, equally as concerning, because they're only plastic parts inside that form the piston and the liner. So hopefully a little lubrication around there, that will help that as well. So once again, thank you for joining me on my channel, and we'll see you again on the next one. Until then, be good, stay safe. Bye for now.